We'll get help on the way. Now, once the checker flag is thrown, our sweep crew will check the course to make sure all riders and machines are retrieved. Pit crews, if you're missing a rider, please notify the finish line referee. And riders, if you break down, stay with your machine unless you are injured. Our crew cannot tow out a machine without a rider to steer it. And I just literally got stuck in the mud right here. Waiting on the arrival of our junior trail bosses, either Ryan Eccles or Jared Bolton, and as soon as they get here, they'll be able to give us a course description. A couple of reminders for you. Once again, don't forget you can stop down at the Specialized and pick up those. And I'm standing in front of my heat. Yamaha generator is not only powering the GNCC Racing Nation, but keeping me and Ricky Towery warm on these cold days as well. Speaking of Yamaha, hey, don't forget, this is a big Yamaha weekend, and we've got the Yamaha transporter in-house with us over here, and we've got all kinds of the Viking side-by-side, which is what the crew here at GNCC uses. Of course, we've got plenty of other great equipment with the ATVs from Yamaha and the many other great machines. You can stop over and check out for yourself. There's pedal assist bicycles available for you and everything, so make sure that you check that out. And, of course, with that, Ryan Eccles making his way up. I want to step over here real quick and say welcome out on behalf and say thanks to Donnie Luce for making his way out here. And Donnie, I tell you, man, you could have picked a better day to come out, man. But, no, I kind of like these days. I mean, this is where you try to find the true grit of a GNCC racer. We say the mud, guts, and glory of GNCC. This right here, the mud, will definitely bring out the guts and hopefully the glory for folks.
Yeah, I'm sorry I didn't bring the California sunshine out with you for you today, Rodney, and all the fans here. But like I say, GNCC does it in all weather conditions, and our Yamaha products are designed to fit in no matter what conditions you're racing in.
And I tell you, you got them all on display up there today, too.
Yeah, we have the complete line of 2- and 4-wheel applications there, so we're glad to be here and supporting this great venue and this great supporting of all our consumers out there.
I'll tell you what, it's a good day to be blue, no doubt about it. Blue Crew is here with us. Yamaha, thanks to Donnie Luce, and, of course, you, the GNCC Racing Nation, for being out here at this X Factor GNCC, and now with a description of our course and the great things to look forward to today, our junior trail bosses, Ryan Eccles and Mr. Jared Bolton. Ryan Eccles. Ryan?
All right, thank you, Rodney. Hey, guys, Mother Nature gave us a little extra rain tonight. You guys are going to take off from the start here, and you'll make your way around the start and down through this field, guys. Just momentum. That'll get you down through there, and a hole shot will help out a whole lot with your goggles there. There, you'll work your way down, across a little bridge. Guys, just be easy on that bridge. It's a little slick. And I'll work your way through some trackside down there, and you'll cross another bridge. Guys, that one is super slick, so be careful. You don't want to go off into the creek right there. That'll rate that to 2, and you'll work your way down through there to Monster Mile. After the youth went through there, they blew a lot of that water out. It looked real bad, and it's actually pretty hard down in there. So from there, you work your way down a little bit fast section on the roads and come up and down some hills and string right there. You'll cross the Blacktop Road. And from there, you work your way up onto the sand pile, guys. I put dangers and everything up there, but don't try to cut off the side of the sand pile. It's really steep, and so just stay on the track there. You'll come down from there, and right there is where the track will change from what you guys had yesterday. I actually just put you guys the same way the youth quads went right there. So you'll come down around the pond, and you guys will hook a left, go up a right. So you won't see the 3-mile mark, just be right up above it. You'll work your way out through there, and it's a pretty good trail out through there. It'll bring you out to the 4, and then you'll bring you over, you cross the road to the 5, and bolt on.
Get out there past that 5, you guys are not going to see the 6-mile mark or the 7-mile mark. You're actually just barely missing that 6, so you're really only cutting off a little over a mile. You're going to drop down, a couple of little ups and downs, a couple of little off-cambers. There's some really good stuff in there. One short little creek run, you're going to come out the other side, and you got a quick little. It's not too hard. Same thing. There's a bunch of different lines. You won't have any trouble with it. That'll bring you back around. You got some trail that'll open up a little bit over to the 8-mile mark. Good open stuff. Then it's going to tighten up for just a minute there. Little off-camber section, bring you back around. More ups and downs. Pay attention to those ups and downs. A couple of them, there's a really steep line, and then there's an easy line around. Just pay attention to the arrows. Do what you want to do. Obviously, the steep hill's the fast way, and then out and around's the long and easy way. So that'll take you back around out to the 9-mile mark. Drop down through another little up and down section. You're going to start coming back down. It's coming back the field here. You got good little open section that'll bring you back to a little road crossing. Cross over the road and come up to the 10-mile mark, and then it's good open trail back out in the field. Field's a little sloppy, but guess what? Those micros just rode like the majority of it, and the youth rode it this morning, so you guys shouldn't have any trouble with that. That'll bring you back around the 11-mile mark, up into the finish, and when you go back out into the back out of the finish, you guys are shooting straight across to the 2-mile mark. Like Ryan said, you're not coming back in this big field again. And I'll also repeat what he said one more time. Use your momentum out in this. It's a little wet, but more than anything, it's sticky. If you just stay on the gas, you're going to come right out the other side of any of this. It's not too bad. Use your momentum, don't have any trouble. So you got 8.9 miles. Sounds about right. Little on the short side, but there's a lot of really good stuff out there. I think you guys are going to enjoy it. So good luck, be safe, have fun, and pay attention to those arrows, everybody.
All righty, thanks a lot, Bolton, and welcoming all those online at racertv.com as we bring to you the starts here from Peru, Indiana, and this Yamaha X Factor Whitetails GNCC. And of course, just want to remind everyone, safety first. GNCC racing, like all motorsports, can be dangerous. Racers, now that you've had an opportunity to inspect the course, have heard the race procedures and a description of the course. If you feel that either you or your machine is not prepared, then now is the time for you to withdraw for a complete refund of your entry fee. No questions asked. Now, it is your responsibility to operate, maintain and control at all times. Extreme caution is required when approaching areas with high concentrations of fans. Do not take unnecessary risks that endanger the safety of fans. You will be penalized for reckless racing. And race fans, due to the nature of GNCC racing, there is no fence barrier around the course. It is your responsibility to keep yourself and your children a safe distance from the course. Never turn your back on oncoming racers, and remember, stay off the racetrack. And finally, for the safety of everyone, unauthorized drones are prohibited at GNCC and will be confiscated. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Ricky Towery making his way down here and to ask a blessing on this morning's race.
Thank you, Rodney. Hey, let's go, Lord, and have a word of prayer together this morning. Heavenly Father, once again, we do thank you for bringing us all together safely so we can have some fun together. We just ask you watch over these riders, Lord. It's a little nasty out there this morning. Keep them safe. Let them go out there and have a good time together. We thank you for this landowner for letting us use this piece of property. Lord, watch over our military men and women in all parts of this country each and every day. Be with our leaders. They'll make the right decisions for us. Lord, we just thank you for getting us all here and let's have fun together. A lot of people would like to be here today, but they can't for different reasons. It don't matter what the conditions are, Lord. We race in the dust. We race in the mud. You always let us have fun, and we thank you for doing that. Take us all home safely. In Christ's name we pray. Amen.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, if you would, please remain standing, stand at attention, remove those caps, and cross those hearts as we honor the greatest nation in the world with the playing of our national anthem. Well, there you go, folks. The stage is set and GNCC Racing about ready to get underway, my friends. And it's time to meet our two premier classes of GNCC for this 11 o'clock race here this morning as we turn our attention up to turn number 1, where our top 8 ATV pilots are standing and ready to be introduced to you, the GNCC Racing Nation. And they're rolling to the line today in accordance to points as they'll pick their start positions on row number 2 today. Rolling to the line first, leading the point for the number 715, a 10-time GNCC WMX champion on the GBC Motorsports Fly Racing Yamaha, Tracy Pickens. Rolling to the line second today aboard the number 475 from Green, New York, Spider Graphics GBC Moose, Caitlin Osborne. Former GNCC champion from Muncie, Indiana, on a Eagle Maxxis Fly Racing backed Yamaha, Alina McCormick. Rolling to the line fourth today in points for the 19 machine from Marion, Ohio, Hauser Racing Honda, a former WMX champion here in the from Sailor, Pennsylvania, on Elka, Yule Cycle Barn, Maxxis. Lady Welch. And number 73, hailing from out of Pennsylvania, former WXC champion. Four rounds of racing and rolling to the line first, getting aboard the number 2. Rolling to the line second today and for the number 3, George Tires time. White Pollard. The number today 6th in points, the number 5. Oh. Salisbury. The 7th. Mr. 4x4 Pro Class as they make their way onto the starting line now and find their start positions, and the starting sequence is about to get underway. Attention will be focusing in turn. About to get underway here in the heart of it all of Indiana, of course, in this great Hoosier state. By golly, ready to roll. There's Josh Merritt. An upcomer, folks. I'm telling you, keep an eye on that number. Merritt. I think we're about ready to see a breakout season for that rider. He's been inching his way closer and closer to that top 5 as our right now getting ready for this 11 o'clock scheduled race. We'll be seeing Josh this afternoon in the 2 o'clock 4x4 WXC and all of our senior classes and things like that ready to roll here this morning. All attention now turning up towards that first turn region where Ricky Towery is about set to begin the there's Kevin Yoho. I swear he's getting younger instead of older when you look at him. But less than a minute to go, we hear those machines revving up one final time. Comes out. In the GNCC Racing. And of course the mud of this wonderful great state as well as our attention turns to Ricky Towery. Ricky Towery lets these riders know it's time to 10 seconds for row number 1, the 4x4 Pro here at this Yamaha X Factor GNCC. Oh, mercy. Trying to get it all sorted out here in that first turn. It's going to be the 327 grabbing the early lead in this one. And that is Robbie Picaroy from Aston, PA on a DeRisi Racing Can-Am tire spine back machine. Our second premier class, the WXC, ready to roll next. Again, Megan Shepard, Jada Phillips, Alicia McCormick, Caitlin Osborne, Tracy Pickens, Hannah Hunter, Angel Knox, and Sadie Welch ready to roll next. And the green flag waves on this one. Angel Knox out of Stoneboro, Pennsylvania, by the way, on an Axis Texera Tech Pirate MX back machine. And grabbing the early lead, that's going to be the 715. Oh, 10-time herself, Tracy Pickens on a GBC Motorsports Fly Racing Yamaha Super Senior 45-plus class. Coming up next, Aaron Delancey, Johnny Wells, Michael Relia, Tim Mazzella, Curtis Crump, and James Wilson. Someone took my long cord. We're going to get you up for the next race. Okay. Yeah, I couldn't hang it up. Super Senior off and rolling right now. Wee doggy, I tell you, it looks like lots of fun out here for these riders. 366, Curtis Crump out of Hubbard, Ohio, going to grab the early lead in this one. Schoolboy Seniors coming up next. We got the 14 to 17-year-old Trey Sapert, Luke Wilson, Hayden Hunter. Less than 10 seconds to go now from Michael Mullaney, Elijah McLean, Keaton Henderson, Lane McCormick, Devin Mercer, Chance Hickey, Ryan Mason, Colton Buck, James Galata, and Maxim Kokerberg, or Cochran, I guess. Cockerton is that last name. All right, here we go. 5-1-2 of Lane McCormick from Muncie, Pennsylvania. The old Cycle Bar Maxis and Fly Racing back. He is the son of Alicia McCormick from the WXC class. 4x4A class coming up next. We got David DePasquale, John Rogers, Jordan Ellis, and Eric Hollifield. The 4x4A ready to roll in 10 seconds. 4x4A off and rolling now as the green flag waves on this one. Well, John Rogers from Beckley, West Virginia. Ooh, looked like he might have this one. Let's see if he was able to keep that needle threaded. That's a 777 of Eric Holyfield from Bakersville, North Carolina. GBC Racing, DeRisi Racing, and race-driven backed ride. Masters 50-plus class. Kenny Hawkins. Also, Michael Tarango, Barry Taylor, David Price, Harry Stonebreaker, Robert Novak, and Wayne Edwards. And rolling now into that first turn. Looks like maybe a Can-Am or a Suzuki off to the early lead in this one. That might be that Yamaha, too, that yellow Yamaha. 211, Michael Tarango. That is the Yamaha out of Plantation, Florida. a 50-year young rider, one of the junior riders in that 50-plus class, taking the early lead. 4x4 senior 40-plus in less than 10 now for Mark Kindig, Randy Stuber Jr., Shane Watterson, John Glotta Sr., and Brian Keene. 59 and 40, Randy Stuber and Randy Stuber Jr., dad and son racing in the same class, senior class. That's great. I don't know if that was Mark Kindig or not from Lima, Ohio, quite possibly grabbing the early lead. We go to the 4x4 B class. Benjamin Cieslak, Kagan Martin, Jacob Carpenter, Doug Moore, Jeff Purcell, Mike Seegers, Brian Russell, Ben Buskirk, and Tanner Fowler off and rolling next. Even these 4x4 guys are slow off the line, it appears. Big man, 923, I believe that was Tanner Fowler out of Washington, Indiana, getting the traction in the 4x4 B class. Sportsman A B class, Dylan Tarango, Caleb Hagan, Chad Ebenshine, Derek Way, Nathan Hayes, Preston Lord, and Dylan Taylor. Less than 10 seconds to go again. Ricky clipping them off one right after another here. It's taking them a while to get around that first turn as opposed to normal. The 361 of Chad Ebenshine from Hillsborough, Ohio, grabbing the early lead in this one. And he's got it on that Honda. Silver Masters 55-plus class now. Jim Van Lukey, Kenny Rich, John Ellison, Michael Ferguson, and Dave Stratton. 10 seconds. All right, here we go. Around that first turn now. Wow. Seems to take forever. Dave Stratton out of DeSoto, Iowa, taking the early lead in that Sport 15-plus class. Drew Blackley, Blake Cruiser, and Walt Schumacher. And they're off. And Walt Schumacher getting a great jump. I'm going to give Walt Schumacher the early lead in this one just because it seems like that's always the case. 40-plus C-Class, Theo Refuse, Anthony Stockdale, Russell Fry, Daniel Schism, Big Daddy Stan Digby, Tim Davis, Jason Holiday also with us, Doug Allball, Richie McCauley, Bobby McCauley, Steve Kiggins, Rick Gilsdorf, Mike Matusik, and Jim Thomas, 40-plus novice class, ready to roll in 10 seconds. See who's going to get the jump off the line now, waiting for that green flag to wave, and there it goes. 930, Jim Thomas from Lucas, Ohio, sponsored by his veteran family, off the line like a bolt of lightning here today. Not letting this horsepower robbing mud slow him down any as we go to the 24-plus novice class next. We got Wesley Barr, Ethan Ho, Harrison Firebaugh, Sean Newhouse, Ethan Sims, Tavis Eisen, Blake Genson, Keith Panico. 10 seconds. Panico, I believe, a part of that Ladon racing team. Jeremy Ladon. And a hard left-handed turn for the 24-plus novice class. Trying to keep that traction to the ground. Maybe Ethan Ho or Hout out of South Salem, Ohio. 30-plus novice Kevin Simons, Ben Dunlap, David Ruther, Brandon Hosenfeld, Chad Hosenfeld, ready to roll next on Ricky Towery's cue as they're trying to get machine off the starting line or in the grid right now. It's out of the way, and Ricky Towery lets these next row know it's time to roll in a matter of only 10 seconds for the 30-plus novice. 454, Chad Hosenville from Mingo Junction, Ohio, on a DBY Motorsports Slick Products ABS machine. Appears to be grabbing the early lead as we check back now with the women. Oh, mercy. Women ATV class. Carly Martin, Emily Latimer, Amy Dunlap, Sadie Welch actually riding in the other class, the WXC class. Marty Lance, Morgan Downey, Jessica Elioff, Sydney Sams, Michaela Hayes, Becky Rosenberger, Claire Wilkin, and Paige Berryman in 10 seconds. Women's class. We had our WXC, the Women Cross Country, which is our premier women's class, and this is our women amateur class, I guess you could say. As they are off and rolling now. .902, Paige Berryman from Summer Shade, Kentucky, on a Wheels, and Big Deals Big Meadow Oil Company. Also Scott Goggles. 4x4 Lights, Josh Waterman, Levi Say. Also Trevor Payne and Ronald Varndell. Less than 10 seconds. 4x4 Lights. One of the faster classes off the starting line this morning, I think. Hard lefter there, and we got 929, Ronald Varndell from Hopwood, Pennsylvania, on a Spider Graphics B&R Motorsports Moose Racing machine out front. Schoolboy Jr. with Preston Snyder, Jacob Fleming, Will Carco, Dominic Stevens, Cody Clendenning, Jace Cooper, Ashton Poling, and Michael Yodanis. They're off and rolling now. The 509, Ashton Poling from Laurelville, Ohio, a southern Ohio boy. Should be used to riding in the mud. We'll see, though, whether or not it helps out here. It looks like, oh, he had to start going there. 1 point. I'm not sure who ended up getting that, to be honest with you. Golden Masters, though, I know are coming up next. We got Thomas Vasco, Jake Stratton, and Pat Poe. These riders all 60 years of age or older. And Dave Stratton, I believe, 80 years old, 82 years old, something like that. And Dave's got the whole shot. Old dude's got the whole shot right there. That's my hero. On an XS Motorsports back machine. 35-plus novice class. Dave Childers, Luke DeCesar, Nick Roberts, Lee White, Ivo Pihalik, Luke Bender, Kenneth Rich, Rodney Poe, Adam Wells, and Mike Oxford in 10 seconds for his 35-plus novice class. .323. Don't have that. I got a 393. Let's see if I got a... How about 405, Luke Bender out of Sullivan, Ohio. We'll go with that as we go to the 19 novice class now. Cody Elder, Clayton Kawasaki, Luke Matusik, Zachary DeNoble, Jace Horner, Bailey Dufek, Ross Watkins, and Aaron Farney. 19-plus novice set to roll next. Seconds. And the 19-plus novice off and rolling. Now carnage in turn 2 right now. One stalled rider trying to get out of the way, but I'm going to say 389 for Pittsboro, Indiana. Bailey Dufek grabbing the early lead. Either that or Zachary DeNoble out of St. Clairsville, Ohio. Couldn't quite make out for sure. 4x4C, Keith Fedura, Jacob Gano, Nathan Everroad, Josh Myers, Bryce Cooper, Jason Cowan, Eric Fisher, Ryan Fair, Daniel Moore, Justin Brown, and Donald Simmons. The 4x4 C class rolling now. The 409 of Jason Cohen from Coolville, Ohio on a Spy O'Neill Impact Solutions machine. Getting off to a great start here. But I believe may have dropped out of that early lead position as they went around that second turn. 16 to 18 novice class coming up next. We got Daniel Gidley, Zach Zajac, Caleb Hughes, Justin McKenzie, Ian Burns, Sammy Eisen, Stanley Johnson, Philip Plank, Adam Weckel, Tyson Rowe, and Trace Thomas. So green flag waves on this. Ricky Towery, send them off fast as they can. They're slow getting up through this start stretch and around into the second turn. By the time they make it, that whole minute's darn near expired. So Ricky gets the next row ready just as quick as they can. 9:31, Trace Thomas from Lucas, Ohio on a veteran family back machine. And trail riders coming up next, Bradley Nutt and Brandon Koffa. Trail riders 16 plus. Less than 10 seconds to go now as we await the green flag waving. And there you go, my friends. We are off and rolling here. And that is Bradley Nutt out of Peru, a hometown boy, grabbing the early lead in this one today, it looks like. Well, that's going to wrap things up as far as our start is concerned here on RacerTV.com. Stick around 2 o'clock. We'll be back live for the action here today. Will Walker Fowler be able to make it win number 49, Pep, and tie Barry Hawk's all-time win record of third place in with 49 today? Or will Chris Borch make it number 76 and another historic day? Or will somebody else step up? Stick around and come back and join us. GNCC Live is right here on RacerTV.com.
The 11 a.m. starts this morning. We got a lot of good racing going on in the 2 p.m. pro race. Make sure you swing on by Racer TV to check all that action out, where Alicia and I will be there as well. We'll see you then.